will not close my eyes when they need to be open. I will not sleep when I am ready for action. There are an incredible amount of human rights issues that stem from the mere fact that there are people in this world that are born female. And these females possess a great amount of power, capability, and intellect. 4 years ago, I wrote Girl Awake Project to celebrate this power and also to alleviate some of these issues. Girl Awake Project believes that change doesn't have to be monumental to be important. It is only by planting one seed at a time that there can ever be a beautiful, vibrant garden. It is together that we must awake, and together that we can move mountains.
Sometimes I look out the window and I watch the young village girls playing in that wonderful, gorgeous sun. I watch how it melts off their skin as they scream and jump and run. And I long to have that life back. I scream and jump and run and run and run, but it never changes anything about my new life. About my new life as a girl who is no longer in possession of her childhood. I was once only a girl, and then I was a bride, and now I am a wife. I was wed to a friend of my father's, to a man who is actually older than my father. He frightens me with the way he looks at me. Not like my mother used to look at me before I was taken away from her, full of warm love. Not like my auntie looked at me on my wedding night, full of compassionate pity. Not like my friends who are still out there, in my old world, the happy one, in the courtyard with my sisters. They all look at me with gloomy fear that they, perhaps, are next in line for the altar. Because after all, I am not the only one. It happened late at night. It may be against the law in the daytime, but I was there with 3 other girls. We stood side by side, quivering beneath oceans of fine fabric wrapped carefully around us, drowning us in their lavish adornment. Stood like cattle sold to slaughter.
When I saw the man I was to marry, I screamed, "Ah!"
When I saw the man I was to marry, I jumped.
When I saw the man I was to marry, I ran. I ran so fast, I just stood still.
I ran so fast, I just stood still. I knew nothing of what it meant to be a wife.
I knew nothing of what it meant to be with a man.
I knew nothing of what it meant to be imprisoned.
I know now what it is to be beaten.
I know now what it is to be uneducated.
I know now what it is to be a child raising children.
I don't go to school any longer.
I don't play with dolls any longer.
I don't laugh any longer.
I don't feel any longer. Just longer and longer stretch the days. And worse still, the nights. Here with this old, so old, of a man here with me. Me. This young, so young. Of a girl robbed of my ability to reach my full potential.
I'm only 15.
I'm only 14.
I'm only 12.
I'm only 11.
I'm only a girl.
Each year, there are 15 million girls who are married under the age of 18. That is 28 girls every minute, 1 every 2 seconds.
One
bride. 2 brides. 3 brides. 4 brides.
Over this next decade, another 150 million girls will become child brides. The average age of a child bride is 15, but many as young as 8, 7, or even younger are forced into marriage, often with men old enough to be their grandfathers.
Girls who are married under the age of 18 are twice as likely to experience domestic violence.
Girls who become pregnant under the age of 15 are 5 times more likely to die in childbirth than those who give birth in their 20s.
Pregnancy is consistently among the leading cause of death for girls ages 15 through 19 worldwide.
Girls living in lower income households are almost twice as likely to marry before 18 than those living in higher income households.
Many do not think that child marriage happens in the United States, but it does. Thousands of children as young as 12 have been recently legally married in the USA because child marriage is legal in 48 states and the District of Columbia.
Idaho has the most child marriages on a per capita basis. The minimum marriage age in most U.S. states is 18, but exceptions in 48 states and D.C. allow child marriage where one or both parties are under the age of 18. Many times they need parental consent and/or judicial approval.
Unfortunately, like many places around the world, girls can be coerced into marriage, and the parental consent might have nothing to do with if the girl is actually given her consent.
On May 9th, 2018, history was made. Delaware became the first U.S. state to ban child marriage under any circumstance. New Jersey passed this bill next. The law was a bipartisan effort and proves positive change can happen in the U.S. Pennsylvania is set to consider this bill next.
Only 48 to go. It could be done with the advocacy of people like us.
Don't marry me off.
Don't marry me off.
Don't marry me off.
Please.
Don't marry us off. Please, let me be a girl.